Hello! This video is in response to Scott6659. Since you asked what kind of watches I do like, today I will focus on my own personal tiny watch collection. By the way, I will not be saying lug to lug or sapphire crystal or reading you reference numbers. We'll start with Casio, which most watch collections do.
Yo!
What news of the Earthlings?
Totally high-tech, sir.
Indeed? How?
Check out these Casio watches. That new Casio pulse watch checks your pulse rate.
Not bad for a Zog my age.
Casio's new databank watch remembers up to 50 phone numbers, dates, hey, whatever.
Amazing.
And they've got more new watches than you can shake a boar at.
Splendid. I can always use another Casio.
They do a lot more than just tell time.
This first one is a digital gold-toned Casio. If you really squint a lot, it's sort of shaped like a vintage Nautilus, but I like it. I like that it's not round or square. Actually, this is my second one. I bought this one for a while and I got rid of it because I felt like it was inauthentic to wear a gold-colored watch that wasn't gold. But then after a couple years, I really missed it. So I got it again, and when I got it, unfortunately, the bracelet adjustment part was broken. And then the flap, a lot of the times would just flip open and then the watch would fall off of my wrist, because the only reason this steel portion is secure is because there's a flap that digs into the bracelet. So I had to basically hammer in this tiny flap because it wouldn't close properly. The downside is I don't really have a downside, it's just so beautiful. And the other thing is it's very resilient. I don't think it's easy to scratch. Whatever gold color that's been plated onto the steel is quite resilient, and the display is quite resilient as well. At least it has been for me. The next one is the classic F91W. I don't use this very much because it looks more masculine. The most unexpected thing about this one is I once took it to the beach in the summer. It was around 85 degrees, but I need to convert that for you guys. It was 29.4 Celsius for those of you who don't use freedom units. And unfortunately, I got sunscreen on it. And when I did, it baked in the sun somehow. And then the entire watch had this white cast on it. And I couldn't get it off at all. Still to this day, my watch is slightly less dark, but I don't really mind too much. In my opinion, this is the most legible, easy to read watch that I have ever seen, ever. I mean the F91W, and I mean specifically the F91W1. Now I am reading reference numbers to you. I guess that's the only way I can refer to it though. Reference number. If it were another color, then I don't think the display would stand out as much when I'm reading the time. On Fridays, it looks even cooler because the R has a really interesting curve to it. I look forward to it on Fridays. I should probably wear it more on Fridays so that I get to see the nice font. I have this one because my friends knew I wanted this specific style. It's more retro, and I love retro styles. And they knew I would want a pink one, and I would probably buy another one if I could. The reason I say I can't is because I don't really use this. It's too uncomfortable for me. But there is one more that I would love to get that looks a lot like this one. And so instead of wearing it, I've actually been carrying it around in my bags because, this is a little more information, one of my anxieties is that my friends don't like me anymore. But when I have this in my bag, it reminds me that my friends love me and care for me so much actually that they got me this adorable watch. It's really special.
Out of the darkness, there was light. The age of discovery.
There were flashes of brilliance, bold advancements.
Advances in time.
Now, out of the light, comes the collection.
Seiko's Age of Discovery.
The past revisited.
The past perfected.
By the most advanced timekeeping technology on Earth. Seiko, the future of time.
Seiko watches available at Buddy's Jewelry, done in Mount Holly.
This one is outstanding. This is a Seiko JDM, the Japan domestic market. It has a really interesting dial. The dial looks like gold leaves have been patterned over somehow. It's just done in a way that gives a creamy look to it too. This has been pretty much the only watch I wore all of this autumn. I don't usually look very good with black. I usually look better with autumn colors like brown and ivory, so I was surprised that I could wear this watch, but I think it's because the black strap is so small and thin that I can get away with it. When I have to get a new bracelet, first of all, I don't know how I'm going to find such a small bracelet, but if you know where to, please let me know. I would love to get a leather bracelet in the future, change the bracelet myself as I learn more about watches and how to restore watches, but also I really like this black shiny texture against the watch. I think they go well together. The most unexpected thing about this is it is allegedly accurate within 10 seconds per year. That's about the same rating as a lot of female Grand Seiko quartz watches. 10 seconds a year. And the Japanese are usually known for overachieving on their metrics, which means it may be less than that, which is absolutely ridiculous because I paid about $200 for this. Outstanding.
Wimbledon. The stage is set for 2 weeks of intense drama, acted out by the greatest names in tennis. Yet one name appears on the scoreboard every year. The name of the official timekeeper to the Wimbledon Championships. Rolex of Geneva.
The last watch is just a versatile, all-around, easy-to-use watch, which is this Oyster Perpetual. What I would say is this is one of those prime examples of how things in general, buildings, colors, and in this case watches, they all look completely different depending on where you are. And this watch is most beautiful in Southern California, specifically. And I have not seen it more beautiful in any other place because for some reason in Southern California, the angle of the lighting, the color of the lighting from the sun onto this watch gives it a golden brilliance. I am thinking about adding something in the next couple months, but I haven't fully decided what that is. And then in addition to that, I've ordered a few old Seikos to possibly restore and sell as a future business idea. But for now, I'm just adding them all to my collection. So I'm going to have 3, 4, or 5 old Seikos suddenly. They're all a little bit different, and it's kind of funny because it feels like, I don't know, this is a weird analogy, but I can't think of anything better, but it feels like I'm adopting pets or fostering pets, and then I have to let them go one day, so hopefully I don't name them. I'm looking forward to showing you what I have and talking to you about what I'm going to do to fix them up or do nothing with them. And then over the next few months, I'm going to make sure that I'm legally allowed to sell watches and then go from there. The last thing in my collection is I have to show you, I have another watch box. My friend gave this to me. So that's 8 slots. This watch box from my brother has 6 slots, and I have 5 watches, which means I have 9 open watch slots. Dangerous. If I didn't have these watch boxes, I don't think that I would be thinking this way, but I'm pretty sure my friend gave me those watch boxes on purpose to see what I would fill them with. At first, I was like, nothing. I mean, I don't need any more watches. Why would I get more watches? I like handbags more. But now, the watch box has been sitting in my apartment for months, a few months, and I am now interested in filling it up. So watch boxes are really powerful. I think that's the final lesson for the video. Watch boxes can control your life. If you have an uneven number of watches that doesn't match the number of slots, then you need to buy another box, and then you will have to fill up that box. You might as well get a watch box that has at least 6 slots, so then the cycle continues. One of my other friends has about 20 watch boxes at this point, and I can kind of understand now. I'm curious what these watch boxes will be like in the future. They're both beautiful, by the way, so thank you to my brother and my friend. Please let me know what kind of watches you love in your collection, or give me feedback on my collection. I would love to know what kind of watches would work on a small wrist. Looking forward to talk to you soon. Bye.
Cabin that was built by my great-great-grandfather, and this is my beach ball collection. And what you can do here is I've got about 500 beach balls in here, and this is one of my favorites. I keep it near the door. Pretty typical one. This is called the RB150 model, which was just recently discontinued. In fact, I don't know why. It was a pretty good beach ball. This is about as fine a workmanship as you can see. This is what is a good seam here. See how flat it lays here? I got about 500 of them in here, and I have one of those storage facilities in town where I keep some of the other ones. Some people have said that I should keep this locked up because it's pretty valuable. I mean, I wouldn't even know. I mean, an insurance guy came out here recently. He had no idea.